morning, Stampers. Happy Friday. Welcome to another Friday Live. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Canada. And most Fridays at 11 a.m. I come live with some crafting. And this week I received this month's paper pumpkin box. So I'll be crafting with that today. Very excited. I'm just going to pull it up on my iPad so I can see your comments. As you join in, if you're watching live, be sure to say hi. If you are a new person to my channel, be sure to let me know where you're from. It's always nice to see where people are from. Okay, so I'm going to start like I do every week and draw for the winner of last week's project. So last week I created this cute little anniversary card. Good morning, Mary Liz. Using the Merry Moose bundle and our new masks. And you can watch the replay on Facebook or on YouTube or on my blog. You'll find it everywhere, basically. Good morning, Christine. So, and the way that you can get entered to win the current week's project is by commenting, asking questions, participating in the conversation, whether it's live or afterwards, or when I upload it to YouTube, even commenting on the YouTube video as well, okay? And so I've got everybody's name. Oh, and you get 5 entries if you share this video. It's always nice to share the video as well. And so I've got everybody's name in here, and the winner is Alice. So I will pop that in the mail for you, Alice. Okay, set that aside. All right, so we are gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna flip the camera around and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so we are scrapbooking today. So I had to put my tripod up a little higher. Hey Alice, I just drew your name for last week's project, so I will pop that in the mail for you. Okay, I think that will work. All right, so this kit, this paper pumpkin kit, was delivered earlier this week, so I knew that that's what I would want to do this Friday on today's Facebook Live. So I am going to scrapbook with it like I have the last few months. I've really been enjoying that. So I did open the kit. I know what's in there. I can't just open the kit and then come up with an idea right off the top of my head. So I do need to look at the contents in order to kind of get the thoughts spinning. So I pulled out some of the pieces last night and I was just kind of having a closer look at them to try to give me some inspiration on what to do. But I don't have a real plan. Like I kind of have an idea in my head, but I did not create a layout, and I'm not gonna just recreate it for you today. So I'll be scrapbooking basically from scratch today. So what is Paper Pumpkin? Paper Pumpkin is a monthly subscription kit, and it's a crafting kit. So basically every month you get a box, and sometimes they customize the boxes. Normally it's just like a red box, but occasionally they will customize the box. So isn't this box beautiful? I love it when they customize it. Last month we got a Halloween box. Next month I think it's gonna be beautiful as well because we've seen pictures of it. And then inside is everything that you need to create a project. So, and every month it's a different project. For the most part, it is cards. But occasionally you'll get a 3D project or some little treat pouches or tags. Next month we know it's going to be tags, and then it's going to coordinate with this kit, which is fabulous. So if you are not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you want to subscribe before November 10th so you don't miss out on next month's kit, because this kit is fabulous. It is amazing. So when you open the kit, you get instructions. So you'll get a photo of what the projects look like and instructions. And then what they've started doing is they've started putting alternatives on the back as well. So if you happen to not love that month's project, that doesn't mean that you can't turn it into something that you do love. All right. Every month you also get an exclusive stamp set. So this month it's got a snowflake, a cardinal, some snow, like clusters of snowflakes, and a few greetings as well. Every month it's a slightly different. So you get whatever embellishments that you need to create the project. So this month it happens to be these adorable little snowflake sequins. So what is not included in the kit is regular adhesive, so flat adhesive. So you'll want to make sure that you have that on hand. But if you need any specialty adhesive, so mini glue dots or dimensionals, those are always included in the kit. You get an ink pad. So this month it's Night of Navy. And then you get all the bits and pieces to create the cards or the project. So this month you get these cute little cardinals. So we'll definitely be using some of those today. And then these are some little pop out wood grain patterned just strips. So I'll be using some of those for sure, because those are great. And then what other pieces do we have in here? We've got some of these, so I'll pop out one of those because I'm pretty sure I'll use at least one of those. Actually, let's pop out a couple. All right, and then, so everything is pre-cut and ready to go. They design these kits so that they will take about 30 minutes for you to complete. 30 minutes to an hour, I would say, depending on the complexity of the kit. So this month you get these gorgeous die-cut birch trees. So when they pop out, this is what they look like, and they're shimmery. So pretty. And then you get envelopes if you're making cards. So this month they happen to be silver foil lined envelopes, and then the card bases. So this is what the card bases look like, and they're all the same this month. Sometimes you get a few different alternatives. And then here's a peek at this month. Next month, sorry. Next month you will get 24, it says over the top tags in 4 different designs that will help you create the perfect handmade holiday. And look at the box. Oh, I love the box. So again, you'll want to make sure that you subscribe before November 10th so you don't miss out on that. And I will post after I post this video, or after I'm done with the video, I'll post a link where you can subscribe above if you are not already a subscriber. Okay, so actually we are going to need some of these pieces. Pull out a few of those and we'll set this box aside. Okay, so let's see here. So I'm going to take inspiration from the cards. So I'm going to use some of the aspects from the cards and put it onto a layout, I think. Sometimes what I have in my head does not always work, and I end up going with something completely different, but that's okay. We'll see where we end up. So I've got a white piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. I love starting with white base. And then I've got, I grabbed 4. Let's start with 3. And I'm going to cut the front panel off the cards, because I just want the pattern bit. I don't need the rest. And look at what's here. New Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer. So let's talk about this for a minute here. First of all, this paper trimmer is amazing. It's really lightweight. So I find it's much lighter than the previous one. The arm that extends, it goes to 17 inches. So you've got a longer surface than you did before. But my favorite part about this paper cutter is look at that transition. Remember on the other one, you had a gap, and if you were measuring something, it was like that fell in that gap. It was really difficult to get it right. This one, there is an 1/8 of an inch difference. Like there is only 2 tick marks that are missing. So it's crazy how accurate you can get with this paper trimmer. All right. The only thing I found about this paper trimmer that took a bit of adjustment, and for some people it has and for others it hasn't, is it has both inches and centimeters on here. So I was only used to the inches. So I just have to make a point of making sure that I'm looking at because I measure in inches, I have to make sure I'm looking at the lower ruler rather than the upper ruler. So that was the only thing that I found was a bit of an adjustment. The other thing is it does lock into place, but it doesn't have a little notch at the top like our other one did. What it has is, if you look, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see it, but there's this little nubby thing there, and there's one on the other end as well, and then there's a little indent where that just kind of snaps into place so that the arm doesn't flap. It comes with a cutting blade and a scoring blade, just like before. And the blade, let me slide this out so that I can show you. I actually haven't tried to take the blades out yet. I guess I should have tried this before. Okay, I'm pretty sure it needs to be done. Oh, here we go. Ah, I see. Okay. Look at how much longer that blade is. And it is pointy. So, and they've assured us that these blades are much better. Our previous blades, I believe what I heard was those were hand sharpened, so that's why they were so inconsistent. Whereas these are done by machine, so they're more consistent. To replace the blade, there's this little notch here, and you just kind of lift up one side and slide it out. The scoring blade, remember how it just had just a little nubby thing? I don't know what to call these things. And it just kind of, and it was, I think it was plastic, so it kind of wore away. This has, it's a metal piece. It almost looks like a metal ball, but I don't think it actually spins. I think it just, it would just roll across the cardstock. Okay, or glide across the cardstock, I guess, because it doesn't roll. And then when you put it in, you just put one end in first, slide it up, and the other end slides in. And it's really nice and smooth. Mary Liz says it's easier to use and less intimidating. Okay, all right, so let's cut off these panels. Let's get back to our project. Actually, let's measure this and see here. So this is 4 1/4 inches. I've got 12 inches across. So I'll set this aside because I can use this as white cardstock maybe on something else. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut 1/8 inch off either side of this, because then it should fit nicely all the way across my page if I want to use 3 of them. Good morning, Kim. Okay. So now I've got a piece that measures 4 inches across, and it's probably 5 1/2. Yeah, 5 1/2 inches. And then I'll do the same for this one. So I'm just gonna cut it and rotate it around and cut another 1/8 inch off this side. Good morning, Barb. All right, so I'm working with this month's paper pumpkin kit, and I'm scrapbooking with it. Okay, set that aside, and then one more cut here, and then I've got my 3 panels. At 4 inches, and then let's see, I'm likely going to still need that. Okay, so I'm going to move this cardstock up so hopefully you guys can see the whole thing in the screen. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking along the bottom like this. Something similar to this, but what I want to do is, if we look at the cards, they stamped the snowflakes in the background. So I did like that. So I'm going to do that. So my stamp set is here. And I've got a block. I'm going to use Native Navy ink. I should show you how I kind of prepped for this video. Since I kind of have an idea in my head, but I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. So I pulled out a few things that I thought I might want to use. So apart from the paper pumpkin kit, I knew I would likely need another color of ink. So in the instructions, it always tells us the coordinating Stampin' Up! Colors. So I pulled out all of those colors except Early Espresso because I didn't think I wanted to use any brown on this layout. So I've got Night of Navy, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, and Shaded Spruce. So I pulled out those ink pads. I pulled out a couple ribbon choices. So this one is our denim ribbon, which is kind of a Night of Navy denim kind of look. And then this one is a Pool Party ribbon. This one is retired, but it was the only Pool Party ribbon that I had. So I pulled that one out because I thought maybe adding some ribbon might be nice. I also pulled out the Holiday Rhinestone Jewels because there's a dark blue and kind of a Pool Party in there. So and I think there's Shaded Spruce in there as well. So I thought I might want to add those. I'm not sure if I'm going to because it did come with sequins. So I might do a combination of the two or I might just stick with the one. I also pulled out these, which are still current. I can't remember what they're called. Clear and... I can't remember. But they're in the embellishment section in the catalog. I also pulled out this spritzer, which has a combination of rubbing alcohol and white shimmer paint in it. You'll see what I actually pre-did with that in a minute if my idea goes ahead. And then I pulled out a couple die sets as well. So the Hand Lettered Prose, which I will likely use for a title. And then I also pulled out this one, which coordinates with, or it's part of the medley that's in the holiday catalog. The name is escaping me right now. But it's in that medley that comes with a stamp set. It comes with framelits, comes with DSP, some tinsel trim, some embellishments, like everything is all in one box. So I pulled that out and you'll see kind of what I have planned for that in a bit as well, if I decide to go that route. Okay, so the other thing is I pulled out my ring of kind of blue washi tape. So I've got some Pool Party and navy blue washi tape in here. So I thought maybe I might want to throw in some washi tape. And then, of course, coordinating cardstock. Barb says, is that the new font? Yes, that is the new die set that does not have a stamp set. Well, it's got a stamp set that you can bundle it with, but you don't have to stamp the letters first. You can just die cut the letters, which I love. Okay, so I'm going to just pull in a scrap here and stamp my snowflakes first. Let's see, how far down do I want to go? Add a little bit more in this corner. Okay, so we'll do that and I'll just repeat that on the other ones. One more. Mary Liz asked, do you know if the paper pumpkin snowflake sequins are the same as the ones in the mix? Yes, they are. Well, they are the same as the snowflakes that are in that mix. So the snowflakes are the same, but in that mix, there's a variety. But these snowflakes are the same as the snowflakes that are in that kit, yes. Thank you, Mary Liz. Most wonderful time product medley, which I'm actually working on. My December scrapbook album is going to be using that medley. It's coming along. It's looking really good so far. I'm happy with it. Okay. All right, so let's set that aside. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. It's kind of like that. And then I've gone ahead and I've poked or pulled out these pieces. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to do this here. Okay. I do want a little bit of overlap. I think what I'm going to do is stick them together and then trim them so where they join, the hills kind of match, because I don't like how they're uneven. It doesn't look seamless all the way across. And I know it's not going to be seamless because I have to piece them together, but it just won't, it will make it less noticeable. So I think I'll do that. And then what I did ahead of time, so with this mixture that I had already done up, I took a piece of 12 by 12 white, I cut a 2-inch strip off of it, and I spritzed it with the that shimmer paint mixture because I wanted to add it to the bottom. Now, I thought of using the white or shimmer paper that we have in the catalog, but first of all, it only comes in 8.5 by 11, so I wouldn't have a 12-inch length, so that would give another seam, which I didn't want. But the other thing was when I pulled it out, the color was just a little bit off. It's almost, well, there was a more noticeable difference between that colored shimmer paper and this colored shimmer paper. The other thing that I wanted to point out is these are not shimmery on both sides, which is great actually, because you can use the shimmery side. Well, you could use the shimmery side and still add color, but you could add color to this side as well. So if you wanted to make them brown or make the tree trunks brown or crumb cake or whatever, you could do that. But I guess you could do that to the shimmery side too, and you still would have that shimmer. Okay, so my thought with this is to either put it behind and make more hills, or put it in front and make more hills, just to give it a bit more dimension. So I'm actually going to, gonna tear, and I'm gonna specifically tear so that it's not straight across. I might use both pieces actually, because I could put one piece behind and one piece in the front. Oh, or I could cover that so that I don't see those seams. Oh, I kind of like that. Then I don't see those seams. Okay, let's see here. If we did this one underneath and this one on top, yes, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, then I don't have to worry about those other pieces. Okay, all right, so let's see here. Let's stick these down. I'm going to commit. I don't have the rest of the page planned, but that's okay. Let's just stick it down. Adhesive. Okay, so I'm just using Tombow. I don't normally use Tombow a ton when I'm scrapbooking, but my photo, I don't use Tombow when I'm adhering my photo. But because this is just going down on the base of the layout, it's completely fine. So I'm pretty sure, based on who is watching, many of you are Paper Pumpkin subscribers. What are your plans with this kit? Are you going to create the cards as is? Are you going to create alternatives? Are you going to wait and see what we get next month and decide what to do with it then? Because it is meant, next month's kit coordinates with this month. So, I mean, if you saved at least some bits and pieces from this month, you could probably create some great projects next month. Okay. All right, I'm going to stick these down. Do I want to stick these down flat or to use dimensionals? I think I'm going to go flat because I'm going to add dimensionals to the other pieces. So I'm just going to use some Tombow again for this. So Mary Liz, you're going to make the frame that's at the back, that alternate that they gave us, that they supplied for us, and then you're going to save some for next month. Yeah, I think that's, I think this is all that I'm going to create from this month's kit, and then I'm going to wait and see what comes next month and then make something next month. Maybe I'll do another layout next month where it combines both kits. I'm not sure. I have to see. Okay, so I am going to overlap. Oh, excuse me. Okay, one more. Okay. So just to give you guys a heads up, next week we are having a one-day sale. So it's a 24-hour sale. Not sure what's going to be on the sale just yet. We'll find out more information on Monday. And I think the sale is happening. I thank you, Michelle. I believe the sale is happening either Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember off the top of my head, but more information will be posted on Monday. So I'll definitely share once I have that. Okay, so I am going to stick this. I'm not sure when the information is going to be posted on Monday, Marb. I don't know if they told us what time. They will share on Monday definitely when the sale starts and probably I would imagine what's going to be on sale. Okay, I just want to make sure that I mark because there's not a whole lot of room here. I want to make sure that I just put a little pencil line so that I can stick this and know that there's not going to be any gaps there. So that's what I just did. And then I will add some dimensionals. Kind of all the way across. Oh, an idea just came to me. I have an idea. Okay. I love it when that happens because it doesn't always happen. Sometimes you just fly by the seat of your pants and to move this over. Shoot. Okay, let's pick this up again. I'll line it up with the left because there's a slight bit of overhang on the right. And I don't want it to be short on the left. Whereas I can trim this overhang off on the right. Okay. I need another one under there. That's kind of flopping open. Doesn't that look pretty? Oops. Okay, so now I'm going to add this over top. I'm just going to stick some dimensionals down here. And I'm purposely not adding too many dimensionals because I might want to tuck some things underneath there. So that gives me the freedom to be able to tuck without having to peel back any of the dimensionals that I've already adhered. It's the same when I add photo mats and stuff like that. I try not to put adhesive too close to the edge because that way I can just keep adding tuck-ins whenever I decide I want to. Yeah, the winter scene is so pretty, isn't it? I agree, Michelle. Okay, so now let's think this through here. What's the next step? So I could go with navy blue ribbon, or I could go with pool party ribbon. I'm almost thinking I prefer navy, but let me figure out where I'm gonna put my photo mats. Here's a paper cutter. Okay, so I'm gonna cut my photo mats. My idea is 3 photos. Yes, a lovely place for woodland folks and creatures to frolic. You're right. Okay, so this piece measures 3 3/4. That's yeah, that's perfect. So I want 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and I think what I have in my head is 3 photos that measure the same. So I'm going to cut 3 photo mats from Night of Navy. Oh, now my nose is running. Just a sec, guys. I gotta go get a Kleenex. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking maybe like this. Do I want it tucked under the ribbon, or do I want some white showing? I think I like it with a little bit of white showing. Okay, and because this is kind of outdoorsy, I want to do a couple things. I thought I'm going to distress around the edges a little bit. So I'm just gonna take my scissors and just roughen this up just ever so slightly. Just like that. And then I also want to soften the edges a little bit, just because it is kind of a wintry scene. So I've got the ink pads that I pulled out. I also pulled out some Whisper White. Good morning, Kathy. You forgot it was Friday. You must be having a really good week. Okay, so now I'm going to take, this sponge is actually what I use for white. It sure doesn't look white, but I'm just gonna dip it in my white ink and just go around the edges and see, I don't know how, if we compare the two, you can see the difference. It just gives it a little bit of a softer look. So I'm just gonna go all the way around the edges on all 3 mats. That's the thing with not having the project planned, is you have to watch me do all of the steps, right? And I don't pre-do anything. Okay, one more. Okay. All right, so those are gonna go there. I do think I like the blue. Let's see, now that I've got the mats, let's try that pool party again and see. Let's see which one I like better. No, I do like the blue. Okay. So we will do that. That that up there. Okay, and then we have these pieces. So I will likely do maybe a cluster kind of over here. I think over here, and then another one. This one's probably a bit long. I'll probably need to trim that one down. Probably do something over there. And then I'm not sure if I need a third one. I'll probably add some cardinals as well. Let's see, what other images are in this stamp set? Okay, so we've got a nice big snowflake. We've got season's greetings. Well, I don't need season's greetings on this. Maybe winter wishes might be nice on that. So I'll do that. Let's clean this off so I can use this block. The other thing I did say, I saved these extra bits because I thought if I wanted to cut out my title from white, I could use the white shimmer paint or shimmer paper that's on there. So I saved those pieces as well. Okay, so we're going to use navy and I'm going to stamp on this. Set this aside here. Okay. Okay, so we've got winter wishes on there. In. I think I might just add this ribbon just because and I might add the photo mats, make it easier to manipulate things here. Okay, so let's trim that. I have mini glue dots here somewhere. And a paper piercer. I find this is the easiest way to take these mini glue dots off, is to use a paper piercer and then just stick them where you want them or on the back of your embellishment and then peel off the backing. Trying to pick them off with your fingers, you pick off the backing and it's just, I don't know, it's not very easy that way. This way seems to work quite well. You can also use the tip of your scissors or tweezers as well. All right, so we'll stick this down just right above, just slightly overlapping, just so that you don't see that seam. Okay, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of adhesive behind these to stick these down. And we are going to do this one, the middle one first. And I had some fast fuse here. Okay, so you can see when I add the adhesive, just a little bit on there. Fast fuse sticks really well, so. And I want a little bit of a gap. So I'm just trying to get it as close to the center, but I want just a little bit of white showing. So I don't need that anymore. And I want about 1/8 of an inch in between them. And then it should, because I started in the center, I should end up with a relatively even border on both sides. Okay. Oh, I love it. Love it. I could even just leave it like that and I'd be happy. Okay, let's flip this over and I'm just gonna stick the ends of this ribbon on. I just replaced the refill on this Fast Moves and it's kind of wonky. Okay. All right, so I think this is gonna go, aw, thanks, Shelly. This is gonna go on here. I'll do it. I'm not sure I like it with the wood behind. Maybe I'll just have the wood coming out one side. The wood is exactly the same width as the ribbon. I think that's what's throwing me off. Or I could do it maybe at the top. Okay, well, let's put this up here. I definitely want to repeat some of the wood over here. And I want to repeat this pool party up here. So let's see here. So we've got this snowflake. And there's no die or punch for it, but I can use a circle punch. Let's clean this so I can use this block. Hey Hudson, I hope you feel better soon. Kristen said that she's at home with her sick boy. Aw. Are you watching? Are you gonna craft with your mom today maybe if you feel good? Okay, so I'm gonna use this and I think I might do pool party just to bring in that pool party color up at the top. So these are the leftover pieces from the cards that I cut apart, but the white is just a little bit different. So I am gonna pull some regular white cardstock so it matches the 12 by 12 white a little bit better. Okay, so let's just set this aside for a minute so I can stamp a few snowflakes. Oh, that's pretty. I like the way it looks. I usually do my clusters in 3, so that's why I'm choosing to stamp 3. Aww. I'm glad he enjoyed it. That's so sweet. Okay, so then I pulled out my 1 3/4 inch circle punch. And let's see what we can do with these. I normally prefer my embellishments to not be on circles. I prefer them to be cut like the shape of them, but I am not gonna sit here and fussy cut while you guys are all watching. So let's see here. Oh, I don't mind the look of that. That kind of looks good. That one, let's trim this. This is too long. So then we have a little bit. I guess I could stamp that right on the cardstock too. And then I could have another little one, maybe up here with that little touch of, or maybe I just have 2 clusters. Maybe 3 doesn't work this time. Let's see. I'm gonna try to stick, I just want to bring more of that pool party color in. So I'm gonna try tucking this underneath here. Yeah, maybe a pool party starburst in behind. I wanted it to pop more. Okay, I like that little bit, and then repeating it. I still need a little bit of wood behind here. Maybe if I go like this. Yeah, that'll bring in the wood. Okay, so I'll trim that. Okay, I will be right back. I want to grab something. Okay, so in that product medley that I was talking about, you get these self-adhesive die cuts, and there are all these fabulous deer. And I thought they might be cute if I add them to the forest. Like, look at this. I could pop him in behind there. Oh, I love it! Okay, so I want to do him behind and then another one in front. Okay, I need my embossing buddy. Just a sec. Okay, so when I use these, if I'm going to pop them up using dimensionals, I like to use my embossing buddy behind them to make them less sticky, so that bits and pieces of them don't stick to the background. Shelly asked, totally unrelated, but did you already hold your shadow box class? Shadow box, do you mean the fall one? The fall frame that I did? Okay, so now I can rest him and just kind of see. Let's grab another one. Do I want another one facing in a different direction? Let's try this guy. Yeah, I like that. Okay, but if I did this, I don't like this cluster, then this cluster, and then this cluster. Do I want to do it over here? Maybe here. Oh, I do like it on this side. So maybe this needs to move over here. This is how my mind goes. It really probably doesn't matter, but it just needs to be appealing to the eye for me. Otherwise, I end up not being happy with it. Okay, do I want to do that? Or no, it's definitely this way. Okay. So let's stick this guy on my block for just a minute. We'll add some dimensionals to the back of this deer. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Beth. Was that the frame? Was that the class that you were referring to, Shelly? The tree one or the fall one? Thanks for sharing, Beth. Okay, so by reducing the stick, then it's still a bit sticky on the antlers. Like on those antlers, you can't put dimensionals on those antlers. They're so tiny. And you could on the feet if you trim them, but by just taking off that adhesive, it prevents them from sticking flat and it keeps the dimension. So I'm going to stick him right about there. Oh, I like that. Okay, and where's my other one? This guy. I want him to go, or her, I guess, to go right about there. So I just need one dimensional. Let's unstick this a little bit. Well, it kind of, the frame that it was in kind of looked like a shadow box, but it wasn't a shadow box. It's just a deeper frame. So the class, the fall one has already happened, and the Christmas one is at my retreat next weekend. Okay, there we go. Oh, I love it. Okay, now set that aside. And let's work on these clusters, and I need a title. So I've got Winter Wishes, but I don't want that to be my title. Or I guess it could be my title. Let's do this cluster. First I need to decide if I'm gonna do a title or not. If I use these, this might be too big. So I was considering doing something about snow. So this is another thing I like about these is you can kind of position them and see if they'll work for you before you cut them. Or I could do it on top. Or I could not do that and have my title here. So I was thinking of Let It Snow and just doing Let It in small letters. Just stamped probably with the Make a Difference stamp set. So something like that. And then I've got my cluster here. And could do this underneath. And these on top. Nope, don't like that. Nope, you know what? I think I'm just gonna leave Winter Wishes as my title because these are just a bit too big for what I'm looking for. So, and I do like this little cluster up here. So we will just leave it. Michelle, you're so funny. When I win this page, Michelle says, when I win this page, I am in Edmonton enough to be considered local. Yes, if you come into Edmonton often enough, Michelle, and you win this page next week, then I'm more than happy to set it aside for you so that you can pick it up the next time you're in town. Okay. So let's do our layering here. So I'm gonna add a bit of adhesive on here, tuck this in behind. Maybe up a little bit because I got that wood grain piece to tuck in. Oh, I got my snowflake piece to tuck in behind too. So I'm gonna slide this over so it lines up like that. This, I think I'll just cut this off in half, so, or just a little bit more than half, so that it will tuck nicely. Add that in behind there. Yeah, I'm really happy with this page. I might have to recreate this for myself. I'll wait and see who wins next week. And because if they're not local, then I can keep it. Okay. So this, what did I say I was gonna do with this? I was going to, I think, put this underneath, but actually I don't mind it. I think I am gonna stick it under all the way in the center. So I'll just do this. Oh, I'm probably out of screen here. Okay, so I did end up sticking that down the middle, and I'm just going to offset it with the ribbon, so make sure it's not lined up with the ribbon, because I don't like that it's the same width as the ribbon. So add a bit of adhesive behind here, center this on the snowflake. And then what I want to be careful of is I want to be careful of where I put the adhesive when I stick this on, because I still want to be able to tuck my photos in behind, right? So I am actually just going to put a couple dimensionals right at the bottom so that the adhesive is on this part and I can still tuck my photos underneath the embellishment. And if you're worried about the embellishment falling off, then you just add an extra dimensional after you've tucked your photos. And the other thing I want is I don't want this to be over this way. I want it this frame to be in the center of this longest wood piece. So I'm moving it over so that I have a relatively even border on both sides. I think that looks okay. Is that straight? Okay. All right, so I like that. Now I want to include these adorable little cardinals for just that touch of red. So let's add, just gonna pop a few down just to see how they look. I do think I want to bring one in up here to bring that red color in that cluster. And then maybe another one so it's closer to this cluster. I don't like how those are even. So maybe that. No, that's gotta be like that. And then this guy, maybe be over here. Okay, yeah, I like that. So I will use mini glue dot to stick these guys on. That little pop of red sure adds to the layout. Okay, now I can't remember where I had him. I think he was about there. Mini glue dot behind this guy. And then one more behind here. And then what do you think? Is it done, or should I add some of those snowflake sequins, or would that be too much? I don't know that it needs it. I kind of like it this way. Oh my gosh, it turned out so much prettier than I thought. I'm really happy with it. I don't think it needs anything else. I don't know, what do you guys think? Leave it as is? Because I could add some little snowflakes in behind here like they did on here. I don't think it needs it though. It looks like everybody likes it as is. Oh, Beth loves it. And it was so easy to make. I mean, basically, I just took these instructions or these cards and did 3 cards side by side and then created a couple little clusters. Like, it was not difficult at all. And I just, oh my gosh, I love it. I am loving scrapbooking with these paper pumpkin kits. Wouldn't it be pretty to have a second page? Just like, so a 2-page spread side by side. Just keep this border going all the way across. Oh my gosh, it would be beautiful. It would be, I might have to do that for myself. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Remember that if you are not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, I will post a link. If you're watching this on YouTube, it will be below in the description box. If you are watching the replay on Facebook, it will be above in the description of this video. I'll post it afterwards. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe before November 10th so you don't miss out on next week's. If anybody is interested, I do have 1 extra kit for this month. So if you aren't a subscriber or you didn't get a chance to subscribe in time and you are local to me, or if you're willing to pay for shipping within Canada, you are more than welcome to the kit. It's the cost is $31.50. All right. So if you want that, just send me a message or comment below and I can set that aside for you. And I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Oh, next week is, I have another retreat next weekend. So I will be going live on Wednesday morning instead of Friday morning. And it will be at 9:30, not 11. So completely different time and day next week. All right. So that's when I will draw for this project. Okay. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a fabulous weekend.